It is Sunday the 31st of January 2016. I'm in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, where laughter is the shortest distance between two people, apparently. And I must say that the Unitarian Church of Montreal, to say nothing of the greater Unitarian Universalist religious community, has certainly provoked quite a bit of laughter on my part over the years. And one of the more recent laughs that I've had, and I'm still laughing quite frankly, is the fact that on Friday, June 1st of 2012, the Unitarian Universalist Association thought it'd be a really good idea to have their Canadian attorney falsely accuse me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel in Bill Cosby style legal bullying that seeks to cover up and hide the fact that certain Unitarian Universalist ministers are in fact guilty of engaging in such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape, to borrow a couple of choice phrases from Maître Coulombe. So I am not joking when I opened my email inbox and saw the letter in the inbox, and it was essentially just a brief little note saying please refer to the PDF file or whatever. So when I opened up the PDF file, it was basically a copy of a paper and ink letter on Stikeman Elliott barristers and solicitors litigation, barristers and solicitors letterhead. And I'm not joking. I mean, I started reading the letter, and I got about about a third or half the way into it, and I burst out laughing. It was like so ludicrous, so incredibly stupid to the point of being funny that I just had to laugh, and that's exactly what I did. And I've been laughing ever since, because it is quite frankly, besides being immoral and unethical to falsely accuse a person of the criminal act of blasphemous libel in an effort to intimidate them into removing blog posts that tell the truth about Unitarian Universalists who've actually been convicted of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. It's quite frankly batshit crazy to the point of being totally laughable. I mean, it's not, on one level, it's not funny at all. It's not funny in the least. At one level, that the Unitarian Universalist Association would accuse a person of any crime in an effort to intimidate them into removing blog posts that tell the truth about Unitarian Universalist criminals. I mean, it's incredibly immoral and unethical and hypocritical. Makes a mockery of pretty much every single principle and ideal claimed by Unitarian Universalists. But to accuse anyone of blasphemy, of any form of blasphemy, for any purpose whatsoever, on the part of Unitarian Universalists, is just beyond the pale. And like I said, it's on the one level, it's definitely not a laughing matter. On the other level, it's so ludicrous, so, figuratively speaking, laughable, that you can't help but laugh at these idiots that try to misuse blasphemy law to cover up and hide pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalists. Just totally insane. So yes, laughter was indeed the shortest distance between me and UUA President Reverend Dr. Peter Morales, Peace Bang, that is Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein, who's implicated in that false accusation. And of course, the UUA Stikeman Elliott barristers and solicitors litigation lawyer, Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe. Yes, it was the shortest distance between us on Friday, June 1st of 2012. And like I said, I'm still laughing. it's just insane. So yeah, we're getting off to a good start with a good laugh on the last Sunday in January of 2016. So yeah, it's been more than 3.5 years now since the UUA's hapless Stikeman-Elliott lawyer falsely accused me of blasphemous libel and various other laughable things. I mean, one of the things that again is very laughable is that Maitre Coulombe, in addition to falsely accusing me of blasphemous libel, he also accused me of sexual harassment. In fact, he accused me of, I'm trying to get the exact words here, threatening and defamatory conduct amounting to sexual harassment of women Unitarian Universalist ministers. I believe that's an exact quote. So one more time, threatening and defamatory conduct amounting to sexual harassment of women Unitarian Universalist ministers. And he did this on two pretexts. One pretext was that I had used the term sucks and blows at the same time to describe the two-faced hypocrisy of Reverend Dr. Kelly Murphy Mason. So according to the UUA's Stikeman-Elliott lawyer, my use of the term sucks and blows at the same time to describe Reverend Kelly Murphy Mason's hypocrisy constituted threatening and defamatory conduct amounting to sexual harassment of her. And he also accused me of the same thing for blogging about a sodomy fantasy that Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein, also known as Peace Bang, posted to her Peace Bang blog. The way the letter was worded, it was almost as if the UUA and Peace Bang and the UUA's lawyer were trying to pretend that Peace Bang had never actually posted a sodomy fantasy to her blog, when in fact she had done so. And what's interesting is that the self-described sodomy fantasy that Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein posted to her Peace Bang blog said the following thing. This is an exact quote again. "Here's my sodomy fantasy. South Dakota State Senator Bill Napoli anally impaled on the Statue of Liberty's torch." That's an exact quote. Now, according to Maitre Coulombe, and of course Peace Bang, and of course the UUA leadership who hired Maitre Coulombe, my criticism of this Peace Bang sodomy fantasy constitutes threatening and defamatory conduct amounting to sexual harassment of Peace Bang, Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein. Well, guess what? I would say, and I think most people would agree, that Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein's sodomy fantasy, which one more time says, "Here's my sodomy fantasy, South Dakota State Senator Bill Napoli anally impaled on the Statue of Liberty's torch," is actually very, very reasonably described as threatening and defamatory conduct amounting to sexual harassment of Republican State Senator Bill Napoli. I mean, she is fantasizing about anally impaling him on the Statue of Liberty's torch. Now, I'd be the first to agree that this isn't a credible threat in the sense of a threat that she can actually carry out. It's pretty well physically impossible to do that. But nonetheless, Peace Bang is essentially saying, she would like to see Republican State Senator Bill Napoli basically, her exact words, anally impaled on the Statue of Liberty's torch. I mean, if that's not threatening in the broadest sense. And if it's not, a form of sexual harassment, I don't know what it is. She did use the term sodomy fantasy as well. So I would say Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein's sodomy fantasy is actually what I've already said. I won't bother repeating it. And I would like to think that most people would agree with me on that point. And again, it's just so ludicrous, so figuratively laughable that you can't help but actually laugh about it. It's just laugh out loud, stupid. So anyway, we're here. We're just starting up our alternative spiritual practice of protesting against Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy, including, but by no means limited, to what I've already spoken about. But yeah, the thing that's really on the front burner at the moment is the false blasphemous libel accusation that the Reverend Dr. Peter Morales UUA administration brought against me in June of 2012, and so far has refused to formally withdraw, has refused to apologize for, and has also refused to tell the truth about Unitarian Universalist pedophiles and rapists. When I responded to the UUA's good day, sir. When I responded to the UUA's false blasphemous libel accusation, I made it very clear to the UUA that it was indeed false, that the blog post that I had posted to the Emerson Avenger blog that spoke about Unitarian Universalist pedophiles and rapists were by no means unfounded. They were based upon newspaper reports and other credible reports about Unitarian Universalists who'd actually been convicted of pedophilia and rape, or a combination of both. I said, you're going to formally withdraw this accusation because it is false. You're going to apologize for it. And when I say apologize for it, I don't mean to just me personally. I mean to whoever else has been directly or indirectly harmed by that false allegation, because it doesn't affect only me. This allegation was an attempt to hide clergy sexual misconduct, pedophilia and rape. It's my view that attempt to hide the truth harms the victims of such despicable crimes, pedophilia and rape, committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers. But because the accusation is so false and such a total betrayal of Unitarian Universalist principles and ideals, and indeed a long religious tradition of opposing blasphemy laws, it's basically harmful and damaging to the whole Unitarian Universalist religious community. And so I expect the apology to be delivered as not only to me, but to all Unitarian Universalists. Those are two very reasonable demands. And since the UUA was clearly trying to hide pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers, to say nothing of Unitarian Universalist religious educators and so on, I made it very clear, well, since you're trying to hide this stuff, well, no, you are actually going to tell the truth. You are going to disclose exactly how many Unitarian Universalist ministers have actually been convicted of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. You're also going to disclose how many Unitarian Universalist ministers have been credibly accused of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape, even if those accusations, never made it to a court of law, but nonetheless are credible. Of course, they haven't done that. In fact, the exact opposite has happened. Besides not withdrawing the accusation, besides obstinately refusing to apologize for it for over 3.5 years now, the UUA has continued to lie in efforts to cover up and hide pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers. And this is utterly shameful. In the summer and fall of 2013, I had a phone call with UUA moderator Jim Key that lasted about an hour and a half. And the purpose of this phone call was to try and resolve this particular problem, along with others. But it was basically, you know, largely as a result of trying to ensure that Jim Key did the right thing and cleaned up UUA President Reverend Dr. Peter Morales' mess. So I spoke with Jim Key for a good hour and a half about these issues, and in the course of that conversation I told him, you know, about cases where Unitarian Universalist ministers had actually been convicted of pedophilia and or rape, and yet instead of doing the right thing, what's the matter, John? You don't want to see the signs? Had enough of seeing the signs, John? Look, I'm laughing, John. Laughter is indeed the shortest distance between you and me, because quite frankly, you're a laughable Unitarian Universalist hypocrite. And I do laugh at you, John. I really do laugh. So thanks for the new poster that's so apropos. So that's the former president of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, John Inder, who essentially completely approves of the Unitarian Universalist Association's misuse of blasphemy law to cover up and hide such despicable crimes as pedophilia